Stop treating AI like a thought partner. Start training it like an employee. Now, this one communication skill that separates founders who get real value from AI from founders who just get a mirror, right? Most businesses are using AI wrong. They think they have an assistant. What they actually have is a mirror. The mirror problem here is I sat down recently with Kurt Wookert Jr., chief Bitcoin historian at CoinGeek, and one of the sharpest minds I know on AI and emerging tech. And he said something that stopped me in my tracks. Most people, he said, are using AI as a thought partner. Really, they are just using it as something to talk to. His full episode will be on the Alex Hayes podcast, dropping this Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is worth blocking some time for. Catch it on YouTube or Spotify. So what happens? They create an echo chamber, right, inside of their own head. The AI becomes a mirror of them. It reflects how they think, how they talk, and they reason. That feels good. It feels smart, right? That the AI is designed to make you feel intelligent and to pat you on the back and to encourage you. It's there to make you feel good about yourself. That is how most LLMs are programmed, right? But it is not actually a tool that creates efficiency. It's a tool that amplifies what's already going on right here in your mind. And if we are honest with ourselves, most of the time, what is going on in our minds as founders is chaotic and sporadic, not the most efficient stuff, right? We are pulled in 10 different directions all the time. We are making decisions without full information. We are reacting instead of leading. A mirror of that is not going to save you time, right? It is going to multiply the mess. Your business needs something more. This is the core issue in the business world today, not just in the AI, but in how founders are scaling themselves. Now, if you run a company between 2 million and 20 million in revenue, you already know what it feels like to be the bottleneck. You are the sales team. You are the decision maker. You are the one stabilizing everything. Adding AI to that chaos without a plan does not buy your time back. It gives you a faster version of you making the same fragmented decisions at higher volumes, right? Here's the question, right? Is your AI actually producing work you can ship, or is it just producing a version of what you have said anyways? If it is the second one, you are not using a tool. You are talking to yourself with extra steps, not very efficient. So the shift that we all need to take away from this is that you need to train it like a new hire. This fix is a mindset shift, not a software swap, right? You need to start thinking about AI as human. I know it's a little unnerving, but you need to. Not literally human, though, right? But in how you engage with it. You need to engage with it just like you would a person. When you bring a new employee into the company, you do not throw them at a task and hope it works out. Maybe you do, and maybe you find out that it doesn't work so often, right? But you have to train them, right? You train them. You give them context. You tell them what what the mission is, why it matters. That is exactly the posture you need to take with AI. Communication that is given with clarity and thoughtfulness will always be executed with a higher degree of efficiency than instructions that are not clear. Sounds simple, right? It's pretty intuitive. Clear instructions, clear outcomes. Vague instructions, messy outcomes, right? This is true when you are training a new hire, and it's true when you are running a team. And it is true when you are prompting AI. Clarity is the lever. Everything else is just tools, right? Now, here's the framework. Commander's intent. One of my mentors in the leadership space is Rob Schaefer, retired lieutenant colonel from the Green Beret. And his new book, The Green Beret Way, is out now on Amazon. You can pick up your copy there. You'll find a link for it down below. Highly encourage you to read it. It's been one of the best books I've ever read on leadership. But one of the core ideas he teaches is commander's intent. And commander's intent is how military leaders give orders when they cannot be on the ground with their team. The mission is clear, the purpose is clear, the boundaries are clear. That clarity lets a team execute under pressure without needing the commander to micromanage every decision, right? That is exactly what you need when you are deploying AI. Here's how I break it down, right? Before you prompt AI, before you hand it a task, you need to define these following pieces. Number one, the mission. What is the outcome, right? What does done look like? Not the task, the outcome. What is supposed to happen after the task is complete, right? Number two is the why. Why are we doing this? Why does this role or this piece of work exist? A person who understands why, or an AI, will make better decisions than a person who only knows the what. Number three, the steps, right? What process should be followed to get the outcome? Walk through it like you were explaining it to a team member on day one, right? Number four, resources, like define what tools, what files, what data, or reference material does the AI need to actually do the job well? Give it what a real employee would need. Number five, the where. Where will this be used? Is it a client deliverable, an internal document, a LinkedIn post, a sales email? Context shapes tone, format, and depth. Number six, the when. When does it need to be done by? And what is the sequence? Real work has deadlines and dependencies. Remember that. Apply that to AI. And number seven, the who and the reporting. Who is responsible for reviewing the output? What is the mechanism for flagging a problem or a roadblock? In a real team, you would not let work sit unchecked, right? Same rule applies here. When you give AI this kind of briefing, something changes. The output stops being a mirror and starts being a product. That is what this looks like in practice, right? Let me make this concrete. Most founders prompt AI like this: write me a LinkedIn post about leadership. That is not a brief, that is a coin toss. It depends on all kinds of different things because AI is going to do what it does, which is try to fill in the blanks itself. If you don't fill in the blanks, it will fill in the blanks itself. And I promise you, you're not going to like the outcome. Now, compare that to the brief with commander's intent. I need a LinkedIn post for founders running a $2 million to $20 million service business. The goal is to get them to reflect on whether they are the bottleneck in their own company. The post should be 150 to 200 words, written in short declarative sentences with no jargon. Build it around the idea that most founders are stuck because they refuse to delegate outcomes, not tasks. End with a question that drives comments. I will review it before posting. Now that's a totally different prompt, right? Same AI, same model, but a wildly different output. And the difference is not the technology. The difference is how you interact with it. Now, this is the skill that changes everything. Here is the reality. AI is not going to save your business, but your ability to communicate clearly just might. The founders who will win with AI over the next 3 years are not going to be the ones with the most expensive tools or the fanciest stack, even though those can be helpful or useful. They are going to be the ones who learned how to think out loud with precision, how to brief a system the way they would brief a trusted lieutenant. Commander's intent, clear outcome, clear why, clear resources, clear accountability. That is the skill. Master it, and AI becomes what it was supposed to be all along: a force multiplier. Now, if you want help applying this to your operation, if you are a founder running a $2 million to $20 million business and you are tired of feeling like the bottleneck, I would love to talk. I run a fractional COO practice where we help founders install the systems, communication standards, and AI workflows that actually pull you out of the weeds. If that sounds useful, book a discovery call. We will spend 30 minutes looking at where you are getting in your own way, and I will tell you honestly whether I can help.